Let's get into it. Today's topic is very personal to me. It's very personal because I have been at the exact same spot. And it's also one of the reasons why I decided to say I am going to do this. I am going to continuously do this until we start seeing the change that we desire among our young people. The title of today's video is How to Thrive in a Broken World. Yes. How do you thrive in a world that is so broken? I am sure if you watch social media, which I'm sure an average young person does, or maybe you even have some time to watch TV, which these days not many people do anyway, right? Most of us get our information, our content via our mobile phone. You will see how much brokenness we have in our world. The mental health challenge is at an all-time high. I am always very, very heartbroken, very depressed, literally, when I see what young people are going through, how they are venting through their social media, through their posts, and while some are doing extremely well because of the support they have from their parents, or they have a strong community, but not every one of us have the same privilege. Not every one of us have the same opportunity. Not every one of us have access to resources that we can always look and say, okay, here it is. So today, I'm going to offer you 3 specific things you can do to survive, even though the world is so broken today. And 3 things you might not just be paying attention to enough and thinking among the billions of youth out there that are you the only one? It does not matter what location you are in. It does not matter your present circumstances, how you can unclutter that current situation and come out of it. So that's what I'm hoping to share with you. And the first thing I am going to share with you is for you to be aware that you are not alone in the struggle. You are not alone. Let me give you this clear picture. Think of one person, someone right now. Take a moment. Think of one person that inspire you, that when you remember them, you always remember who you want to be like or what you want to be like. Think of that person. Bring that person into your vision right now. Now imagine what that person has gone through before they get to where they are at the moment. Again, have a visual image of someone, whether it's somebody that you remember on the spot or someone that you have known that maybe they are late, and imagine, okay, I want to be like that person. Now, picture what you can imagine that person went through. The truth of the matter is, regardless of what field, regardless of what profession, regardless of what sport or what path you want to take in life, anyone that has ever attained success, anyone that has ever become successful in a chosen field, in a world, they have paid the price. So you are not alone in that struggle. That should give you a certain air of peace that whatever you might be going through right now, as a young person, it doesn't matter what your age is, but age 16, for most person, they start having that reality that, well, maybe it is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Or maybe you are 18 right now that are just about to graduate high school. Or maybe you are 21 years old that is just graduating from a university. Or maybe 25 that they just landed their first or second job or just got fired at a job. And you are asking yourself, what do I do now? What next? Well, I want you to know that you are not alone in the struggle. So you need to normalize this. You need to know that this struggle is all part of growing up. It's all part of a way for you to find yourself. It's all part of a way for you to get to where you want to get to. What you need to do, if you are able to vision someone in your head, if you're able to picture someone in your head, as I said earlier, is to just go and use the resource within your capacity right now. Book is one of them. If that person has ever written a book, which most likely, if it is someone that has done something great in life, go and read their book. They must have written their success, their path. They always leave. There is a general saying that says success always leave clues. There is always a clue for you to follow, but you have to remember that it cannot happen for you in a day, in a month, or in a year, or sometimes not even in 5 or 10 years. You have to remember that it is a long game. It is a game that you have to be willing to pay the price of patience, price of hard work, price of some tears and sweat sometimes. So you are not alone in your struggle. The second thing you need to do to be able to get out of that broken world that we are all living in today is for you to discover that thing that makes you come alive. What is it that when you are doing, it lightens you up? You are just like, wow, this is it for me. You need to discover that. You need to get off that depressive mode. You need to get off that mode of always feeling, oh, somebody is not helping me, that entitlement mode, and go on a self discovery journey. One thing that lightens you up, you need to find a passion, discover how passion, value, and strength can move you from where you are to where you want to be. Purpose is a very crucial thing in all of this. You need to find a purpose to live for. I have previous video that I've talked about how to discover your purpose on this channel. So if you have not seen that, I will encourage you to go watch that video of how to discover a purpose. But purpose most of the time is that thing that whenever you see it, that you are not comfortable looking at that thing. If it could be a situation, it could be an idea, it could be a product, it could be something that you live around, something that whenever you see it or you are in between it, you are very uncomfortable. That is your purpose right there. That is your purpose screaming at you. That is something that you need to go into a deeper look at and then say to yourself, I think this is it for me. So you need to discover something that lightens you up. You need to know that there's always something that is worth suffering for. If it is something that lightens you up, if it is something that makes you happy, you need to know that for you to become successful at it, you are going to put in the work. Yours truly, that is speaking to you right now, have been building a football academy since 2008. That is almost 17 years and counting. And the reason for me was because while working as a broadcast journalist, as a young broadcast journalist, which I started at the age of 19, I've also said this story a few times on some of my videos. So you need to go look at that. I had a chance of covering football at different stadiums, of traveling when I was very young to cover the Nigeria national team at competitions. And this lightens me up every time, seeing people just happy watching the game of football, which we call soccer here in the United States. And I started asking myself, what more can I do beyond this game, beyond what I'm doing right now? And I see that there are many young people that love to play it. So I decided I will start something that will give young people a chance to be able to play this game. And even if they did not end up playing it at a professional level, they can still find a way to work in that game, which is vocational education. If you don't know how to play football, if you don't want to play, or if you are not successful, because the odds of becoming professional at the game is very low. So I'm helping young people to discover their purpose through football, through mentorship, through vocational education. And whenever I'm coaching, whenever I am teaching, whenever I'm speaking to young people, that is my world. I am extremely excited. And through that, I have covered two different professions, football and criminal justice. And now I am combining both of that, using it to share this experience with you. That is what you need to do as well. You need to discover what makes you come alive. Whatever that is worth suffering for, whatever that is worth fighting for, whatever you are willing to do without anybody paying you for it, that is your purpose. Discover that. The final thing that I need to share with you is that you need to build a life that you don't want to escape from. That is just following up on exactly what I just said in the second form, in the second key. You need to build a life that is worth fighting for. Practical habits for mental resilience. You need to start practicing journaling. You need to find something that is a hobby beyond you finding that thing that lights you up. What is the other thing that you can do around your passion that will continually support your purpose? Again, for me, I will use myself as an example. Knowing that I am working with young people, children and teenagers and young adults, I also know the importance of staying healthy. So before my 40th birthday a couple of years ago, I was weighed about 220 pounds. That is how big I was. And I had to tell myself when I look in the mirror about to be 40 that, hey, bro, you cannot look like that. And then start telling young people, oh, you have to be a better player, you have to be fit. So I hold myself accountable by registering for a gym membership. And I started going to the gym and I started running. But more importantly, I came across one incredible human being. Incredible, just simply incredible. I've talked about him many times in my videos in the past. His name is David Goggins. David Goggins is I think he's a 26th African American Navy SEAL. I'm not sure in history, but this man, his book, Can't Hurt Me, changed everything for me. When I read that book and I saw that the human body can go can do what we can never imagine it can do. I started running. I started going to the field, started with 1 mile, and now anytime I go out, minimum is 6 miles. And guess what? My 45th birthday is coming up later in June this year. I'm recording this sometimes in May of 2025. So I don't know when you're going to be having a chance to watch it. And before my birthday, since my 42nd, I always do something I think is a little bit extreme every year. And that is I challenge myself to a run. So for the first time in my adult life, I will be running a half marathon before my 45th birthday. That is my own escape zone. That is something I cannot escape from. So you have to build a life around your purpose that you are not able to escape from. You have to build it with intentionality. So now that I've signed up for that half marathon in June. Guess what I have to do? I have to eat right. I have to sleep right. I have to go for my workout, either I like it or not, because come June 7, 2025, I'm going to be in line to run a half marathon. And no matter what happens that day, I have to finish. And after the half marathon, I intend to go for a full marathon. This is what you also have to do for yourself. You have to build a life that you cannot escape from and build it inside that thing that lightens you up. This is how you can survive in this currently broken world. We need more of you. We need you. We need young people to rise up to the occasion, to be able to change the world, to be able to build a world that you want to live in for the next 50, 60, 70 years. It does not matter what age you are now. If you are 40, if you are 20 right now, and by the time you are 40, the only difference will only be 20 years. You will still probably be feeling the same way. So whatever it is you have been putting aside, you have been saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. It is time for you to do it now. That's about it for me this week in this video. So I want to challenge you for you to first and foremost know that you are not alone in the struggle. That's number one. Secondly, Discover what makes you come alive. Third, build a life that you don't want to escape from. Remember, the world needs you. It's been my pleasure bringing this to you. If you have enjoyed watching the video, hit that subscribe button, reach out to me on any of the social media platform, and let's keep learning from each other. Remember, each one teach one. I'll see you another time.
Your comments, suggestions, and ideas are welcomed. Follow Bayonle on all social media platforms at Bayonle Arashi, or visit www.bayonlearashi.com for coaching and speaking engagements. See you next time.